on this training video, I'd like to actually go over some common speed bumps and issues that come up on the program, the 5-in-1 program. Obviously, the first couple weeks, people will lose a lot of weight, and come a week into it or 2 weeks into it, they're going to start getting a more regular weight loss, be it 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever it is per week. It typically becomes more regular after about the second week. The first week, you lose a lot of weight. Half of that is typically about excess water weight. Now, it still affects the blood pressure and everything. It's a very important weight to get off, but it's half of the first week is about water weight. Just about, it's roughly. The second week, it's a little bit more, it's a little water, but mostly still fat loss. The third week into it, that's pretty much what people should expect for a while. Your body's regulated now, it's regular, it's gotten the whole program down, it's into it, and it should just keep trucking along. Sometimes people will be hungry, okay? Even from day one. You know, day 1, 2, and 3, typically people are the hungriest. It's really not that hungry, people, you know that. But remember, the first week, just tell them to have an extra shake, have an extra bar if you're hungry, no big deal. Squeeze your meals closer together. That's a very common speed bump that could be overcome. And some people are exercise-aholics, essentially. And they got to realize that you're cutting their exercise in half at least the first 2 to 3 weeks. If they still find they're very hungry, they can have more meals, 1 or 2, before and after exercise. But you might just tell them, say, I know it's tough, but back off on your exercise a little bit more. That's a very common speed bump. Make sure you're asking them when you follow up with them their first couple weeks, are they having any headaches or fatigue? If they are, ask them about how much water they're drinking. If it's 64 ounces right at the minimum, have them drink 80. Have them drink more than that. It's especially if they're even just exercising a little bit, they got to be drinking more water. And if somebody is getting a little bit of dizziness type of thing going on the first week or 2, have them just add a little bit of salt to a soup or something like that. Give them a little bit more salt intake the first couple weeks, just to have them absorb a little bit more water. As far as the people with high blood pressure, I wouldn't worry too much about that. I mean, obviously they need to be working closely with their physician, but most of those people are going to need to reduce their meds within the first couple weeks anyway. So a little bit of salt isn't going to kill their blood pressure. It's not going to skyrocket it through the roof. It just won't happen. If anything, they'll have a little bit of salt and their blood pressure is still too low. So that begs the next question. When somebody says they're fainting, or they feel like they're fainting, or they did pass out, or they're really, really dizzy, and you know that they're on high blood pressure medications or glucose medications, they say they're diabetic, make sure that you say, okay, you got to check your blood sugar, check your blood pressure, and get back to your primary care doctor and get things adjusted. Most likely that's the case if it's like severe. Sometimes the blood pressure medications and the glucose is dropping it too low and they're getting dizzy, and that could be dangerous. So keep that in the back of your mind too, okay? The one thing people mention sometimes is that they just can't drink that much water. And, it is a lot of water, but there's so many things you can do. We have the flavor infusers to flavor the water. There's lemons and limes and oranges you can put in water, and there's all sorts of, my favorite, I like the Pellegrino. It's a water with CO2 in it, and what I do is put it over ice, add a little bit of sugar-free strawberry syrup to it, just like an ounce or less, and it's like a strawberry Italian soda. It's so good, and there's no calories. So just spice it up a little bit. You don't have to be just drinking straight water all day, but they shouldn't be counting Diet Pop as fluid intake either. So they want water. It could be, flavored with infusers and other things, and as long as there's no carbs and you're not adding a bunch of fat or something to it, like, creamers or something, okay? The biggest thing that you'll come across, and that's the hardest thing to deal with people, is when they come to a month or typically 6 to 8 weeks into a program, a lot of people will have a plateau. They'll have a couple days to a week of where they're just not losing weight, and they get frustrated because they've gotten so used to losing a lot of weight very quick that it gets frustrating for people, and that can be a point of them just getting off the program. So it's very important as a great health coach that you follow up with them and give them some pointers, and in the least give them some encouragement to continue. It usually only lasts about a week. Your body has just lost so much weight that it's trying to stop that fat storage from leaving the body. It's that important to the body, and it's something we're fighting, our primal body's functions, and it's very hard to get over, but it takes about a week and then the body will start losing more weight. But there are things besides just saying, well, there's nothing you can do about it. There are things you can do about it. There's lots of stuff. There's a lot of things to try. You can increase your protein intake. Look at their exercise. They might be exercising too much. If they are, back them off a little bit. They might be burning too many calories, okay? The other thing is they might be not exercising enough. Maybe they need to go for a half an hour walk a day. There's many different things. You can take them from a 5-in-1 to a 6-in-1, or take them from the 55 meals to the 70 meals. The more protein, that's the key. Is add a little bit more protein to it, and that might make a bigger difference. Some of the other things you can do, obviously, is no matter what they're drinking, have them drink more water. You can talk to them if they don't mind caffeine or a little bit of stimulants. You can actually start them for a week or two on the Momentum products. You know about those. That'll sort of kick up the metabolism and get things back in gear again. The other thing to really focus on as a health coach perspective is ask them, say, have you changed anything as far as your habits, as far as your meals, your lean and green meals? Are you adding something in there during the day, like a little snack you shouldn't? And just ask them, indirectly or directly, are you cheating? Are you having a slice of bread or something? And that could be, something real simple to take out, and then they start losing the weight again. So when you look at a lot of these little speed bumps, there's a fix for any of them. They're very quick and very easy fixes. When you have somebody that's very frustrated, just remember, be a great health coach. Coach them through it. If you don't know the answer, ask your upline. Ask somebody that you know that knows the answer, okay? All right, thank you.